Hey guys, you might be asking yourself, well, this isn't Heroes of the Storm. Now, this is StarCraft 2, and let me turn down my sound really quick because it is a little bit louder than I was expecting. So, I wanted to mention something that StarCraft 2 did that I thought was really cool, and I really wish that Heroes of the Storm would possibly look at this. StarCraft 2 did something called co-op missions. Now, co-op missions are these missions where they give you specific objectives on specific maps, very similar to Heroes of the Storm. However, these are completely cooperative. You don't get to play against any other players. You play with players, and you try to synergize your hero with the allies' hero to go through these tasks. Sometimes it's a defense map, sometimes it's a offensive map. A lot of different things you should be doing. There's a decent population playing this game. I mean, every time I log on, usually my queues are under a minute, and I see people constantly looking for people for these things that are called mutations, which are weekly missions that are more difficult. Now, why do I think that these co-op missions are so interesting, and how can Heroes of the Storm implement these? Well, the first reason why is because I was not that good at StarCraft to begin with. So I always got intimidated about doing versus mode. I kind of went through the campaign on easy, and I never wanted to go in versus because I just never felt like I was good enough by myself or with an ally, and it just wasn't really worth it because I didn't want to just get wrecked over and over and over. So I stopped playing StarCraft 2. Then a friend mentioned to me, hey, they've got this co-op mode. You don't need to play against enemies. You can start off on really easy difficulties. And I started playing this game a lot. And I got actually really good at it. I got to the point where I can mostly solo some of the harder difficulty missions on my better heroes. And it's just a really cool idea because you can do this. But what makes this truly an amazing game mode? It's not just that you can bring in casual players because you don't need to play versus enemies. It's not just that it's unique, that you can play all these heroes on unique maps, but they do something so cool. And this is what I'm going to show you. So currently my Raynor is level 7. What does level 7 mean? Well, level 7 means that I've played this game enough times that I've gained, I would imagine you gain about a level per time that you play it. So I've played probably 6 or 7 times with Raynor. And every time you gain a level, you gain an upgrade. So level 1, you start with this. But let's say I hit level 7. Now I have my bunkers will get automatic turrets that attack ground and air units, as well as increase the life of my bunkers. So my bunkers now gain something that they didn't previously have. Another thing that I can get is, at level 8, I can get orbital drop pods. Barracks, factories, and starport units are delivered directly to the structure's rally point. So I can place rally points and immediately summon units at the rally point, as opposed to where they normally spawn at the structure. So it gives your character these unique things that they don't normally have. And as you go through, you unlock passive and activatables. And then at the point you reach the max level, you start getting these other type of points called mastery points. For example, my Artanis is hit level 15, so I've unlocked all of his abilities, passive and activatable upgrades through here. And now I am unlocking mastery points for him. And these mastery points just put in small percentages into different areas. In this case, I've gotten more Guardian Shell life and shield restoration, speed increases for warped-in units, as well as chrono boost efficiency. All of these things are pretty cool. If you haven't played StarCraft, that's perfectly fine. But these are just really neat upgrades you can get for any of these characters. So how would they implement this into Heroes of the Storm? Of course, there's a much larger roster in Heroes of the Storm, so they probably couldn't add these special things for every individual. But what if they started it off with something like maybe 5 or 10 heroes? And these heroes, they could start it off in the beginning where the basic upgrades for the first 10 levels could just be talents that you could unlock permanently, whether or not you pick those talents in game. For example, let's say you're playing Sonya and you reach level 10, you could get Leap automatically whether or not you pick Leap in game, meaning that you could have both of your ultimate abilities while you're in co-op missions. I think that'd be a great way to bring in casual players that are just kind of annoyed at getting stomped in competitive games and are bored that there's nothing to do in co-op modes, because the co-op versus AI usually just has one person who just stomps through the entire thing. That's really boring. So we should be adding these things with special things that you're supposed to do, modes that keep getting more and more difficult, and these aren't just against bot players. And I think that's what's the thing that throws people off the most. If I just want to play against bot players, I could just go into custom. I could go make my own custom game and go against bot players. But instead, these co-ops are, yeah, versus. You could just go versus like AI or something in here, but there's no point in that because these are unique, built for the game. And I know it might be difficult for the HotS team to create something like this, but they do it with brawls already. Imagine if the attack on Braxis or Braxis Outpost or any of those type things, if you had those that were progressively more and more difficult and had special extra bonus missions you were supposed to do during them. Imagine if those had those modes and there was a progression system. So they made them way more difficult than they had to be. But then they made a progression system to where your characters get stronger and stronger with unique passives, activatables, and things that would give you talents permanently even if you didn't have to pick them. All that stuff would make it really cool for casuals, as well as it would just be a really fun game mode for people who are getting a little bit tired of being on a losing streak and just want to play some AI. Either way, I love these StarCraft 2 co-op missions. I haven't played them that much. I'm a little new to them, but in general, I really enjoy playing them. All the friends that I've played with also enjoy playing them, and they're just really, really fun. So I would love if HotS did something like this. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these. Would you like it if HotS brought these? Another idea that we were talking about, I don't know if you played in Warcraft 3 X Hero Wars, but I figured it could work something like X Hero Wars, where there might be things that you can purchase while in the actual things. Maybe like a permanent buff. Say you're killing creatures and you're unlocking like gold that's dropping that you would normally spend to like just use the send the gold to shoot off shots on like Blackheart Bay, but instead of doing that, you can pick up the gold and you can buy buffs for your entire team. You could buy turrets that you could drop. You could buy healing things that you can drop. Possibly you could just buy like little units that will defend things for you. Like, it would be cool if you collect gold the entire time and you had other things that you could do in game while doing all the rest of this. I don't know, just random ideas, just things that I was thinking about. But in general, thank you all for watching. I know these are getting kind of weird, some of these videos lately, but hope you enjoyed. Just something that I'd love to see in HotS.